Hi guys, we are talking all about knitting today and just like fiber arts and crafts. I have so many fun updates and projects that I want to talk to you about. I'm all over knitting right now. I'm a very crafty person. Sewing is like my main hobby. I also paint, I knit, I crochet. I do all of the crafts. I reupholstered my couch a few videos ago. I'm very into knitting right now. I think just because of the time of year, it's getting chillier out. I want to knit lots of stuff so that I can wear it right now before, the chilly season ends. It's also Christmas time and I have sewn a lot of gifts for friends and family members in the past, but I really want to get into knitting gifts this year. I'm knitting lots and I recently made a really big knitting purchase. It's in the title of the video, but we're going to talk about it more. I am so obsessed and excited. Forgive the fit. I put this on because I feel like it gives casual chic artist vibes, which I guess I am an artist, but this much of me is an artist. Don't be fooled, I am wearing sweatpants. I don't even know where to start. I got a knitting machine. Here she is in all her glory. Just a few weeks ago, I went to my brother's wedding and I was talking to my mom and I was like, oh, something that I really, really want is a knitting machine, but I was convinced I didn't really have the space for it, that I wasn't at the knitting level that I should be to get one. But after doing some research, knitting machines are truly very different than knitting. Like, you need a basic knowledge of knitting really to get started. And I actually, I would say at this point that I am an advanced knitter. I feel valid in this purchase. I was telling her I wanted one, but I wasn't gonna get one yet, and then I got home and I was looking on Facebook Marketplace casually and I found one a few hours from me, and it happened to be Thanksgiving weekend and we were going to be in that area for Thanksgiving weekend anyways, and so I got it. I am going to make a video going over this more in depth, but not yet. I'm not ready to just yet. I got the Brother KX350, which is a pretty basic knitting machine, a very starter knitting machine. I did a lot of research, and for this one specifically, I wasn't seeing a lot, at least on YouTube, about it, but it was an incredibly good deal. I think brand new, these go for $500. Even secondhand, on eBay, they're minimum $400 to $500. I got this baby for $150, which is a steal for sure. The lady who sold it to me, she had never used it. She had it for many years, and so after doing some tweaking, it is going to need a little bit of maintenance to get in prime condition. If you know anything about knitting machines, basically the sponge bar needs to be replaced, and then I think we should pretty much be in good shape. I might oil it and stuff like that, but I'm very, very excited. I cannot wait to dive into learning how to use this thing. I love knitting. I love fiber arts. I just love clothes, specifically clothes that are made sustainably, which typically means that I make them myself. I like thrifting yarns and materials and stuff like that, and so I just feel like I'm going to be able to rock my wardrobe with this knitting machine. I'm really, really excited. More to come about this. We'll talk more about it in coming videos. Let's get to my knitting plans. Actually, let's talk about current whips I'm working on. Up until very recently, I have been working on this sweater, or it's a cardigan from Petite Knit, one of her patterns. It's called the Dagmar jacket. Oh, this is the best thing that I have ever knit. I feel that way every time I knit a new sweater. It's like, oh my god, my whole world has just opened to something brand new. I'm very excited about how it's turning out. It's so cute. Many videos ago at this point, I kind of created a tutorial about how I thrift sweaters and then harvest the yarn from them. And this yarn is from that video. I thrifted a wool sweater. Those kind of like weird 70s or 80s vibes. Probably 70s, I don't know. But the actual like fiber itself was like so good. It was just the fit of the sweater that was horrendous on me. I unraveled the whole thing and saved the yarn and knew I wanted to make a gray sweater, and then I pretty quickly decided on a cable knit sweater, and then decided that a cardigan was the best, and this like cable pattern is just gorgeous. It has been such a fun project for me. I've never done cables before, and they are really difficult but really engaging, which I really like. So I am just loving this project. And I was working at it vigorously the last few weeks because winter is upon us and I really want to just wear this sweater as soon as possible. I also really want to have this sweater for like Christmas time. I was working on it like crazy, and then I kind of realized something as I was finishing the body, that I was very quickly running out of yarn. So these are the cakes that I made, and after unraveling the whole thing, I ended up having 7 cakes. I'm not 100% sure, I didn't document it, but like thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I had 7. And these are the only 2 I have left, which means I've already used 5. Which is not good because I obviously have not done the sleeves at all. So I was realizing that I was very quickly running out of yarn. The other day I went shopping looking for kind of like a substitute yarn. I looked at Joann's and Hobby Lobby, and there's just horrible options when it comes to like wool yarns. I remember last year Joann's had a better selection. They like took their wool selection and chopped it in half this year, and maybe it's just because it's just the start of the chilly season, but I really don't think that is the case. I think it's just like maybe like most fiber artists do not use wool. I don't know, but it's really the only thing that I would buy like brand new is wool. I looked everywhere here in person and could not find anything. So then I did like a crazy search online. I looked on eBay and Amazon, because at this point I'm like, I just want it here now so I can finish the sweater. But obviously I need it to match well enough. Kind of what my plan was is this yarn, it's 2-ply yarn held together is how they made it. So I just like unraveled it the way it was, but I've been doing it held together too, but this is like really like, this is how the yarn is. And so I'm just going to like unhold it together, if that makes sense. Like it's not plied, it's just held together. And then I'm going to add a few plies from the yarn that I have bought online to this that kind of matches, to kind of beef it up and make this go farther, is my plan. So I got this one from Amazon, and it's a pretty close match. It's hard to tell over the phone, and like until I have it I won't know how good it is, but we're just gonna have to do our best, because I don't want this to be a vest. I want it to be a cardigan, and so we just gotta do what we gotta do. And if the sleeves kind of don't match that well, whatever. I just figured that if they were a full sweater before, that I could make a full sweater out of them again, but the needles I'm using are larger. The actual size of the cardigan is probably larger than the size of the sweater. So math, whatever. Anyways, that was kind of a bummer, but we're gonna make it work. I just have to wait for the new yarn to come in now, which is not gonna be until 6 days from now. I am working on other things though, so that's kind of my main whip, but we're taking a pause. And then I have started working on, this is gonna be a baklava or a baklava. I'm not really sure how you say it because I know baklava is a type of pastry, but a baklava or a baklava, I don't really know how you say it, is like kind of a beanie scarf hybrid. They're really cute and functional. So I got this yarn from Joann's. They did actually add this to what they offer, and it is an alpaca wool sort of blend. It is more of a natural fiber, which is what I go for. It's really gorgeous. It's very floofy and light. I really love it. And I actually got 10 of these skeins from Joann's the other day because they were running a major sale. I got it in white because I really want to create a white sweater. I have had this one acrylic white sweater that I love. I love the fit of it. The fit is like so good. And it who doesn't need like a basic white sweater? But it is acrylic. It's not aged well because it's acrylic. I want to replace it with a new white cardigan. I'm just realizing that cardigans are probably a little more versatile to me. You can still wear it like as a sweater, just like buttoned up all the way. And so it kind of feels like a 2-in-1. I got 10 of these skeins in white, and I'm going to be making a white cardigan from that. And so then I was thinking of Christmas gifts. So I'm making a baklava for a friend or family member. I'm not going to say who, just in case they're watching. And I think this color is really pretty, and I kind of wanted to get more familiar with the yarn. I really like it. It's really easy to knit. Wool classically is easier to knit because it's a little softer and just glides on the needles a little bit better. I also feel like it doesn't dry out my hands as much. I don't know. So yeah, I'm making this baklava. It's gonna be really, really cute. Or baklava. Ugh. Someone please tell me how you say it. I'll just stick a picture on the screen. This is my inspiration. I really like the little lace details. I wouldn't usually be drawn to details like this, but now that I've done the cable knit sweater, I'm like, actually, like, this is gonna make it a lot more interesting to knit. So yeah, it's really cute and girly. Very excited about that. I actually just passed this on a few hours ago, and it's going pretty quick. I honestly think I could be done with it later today. I actually wanted to knit everything but the ribbing on my knitting machine because I thought it would be faster, and it would be if my knitting machine were working properly. But like I said, the sponge bar needs to be replaced, so it was not working up to par. I'm pretty sure that's what the issue was after some research. So I was gonna hold off, and I was gonna wait for the new sponge bar and different parts that I ordered to come in before starting this, but then I just was out of projects to work on because I'm waiting on yarns and stuff, and so I just was like, whatever, I'm just gonna knit it by hand. I just want to do something because I'm like obsessed with knitting right now. So yeah, it's really cute. I think I can finish it later today probably because it's knitting up really fast. So I'm just like, I'm not following a pattern, and I'm just knitting it with my heart. I do kind of want to have a baklava of my own, and so this is kind of like a test run for that also, but it's gonna be a gift to someone else. If you have been watching my videos for a while, this might look familiar to you. It's a t-shirt that I am making. It's striped. It's made from scrap yarns from other projects. They're like the same thickness. It's really cute. It's like this orange this kind of burnt orange cotton yarn and a light pink cotton yarn, and they are really cute. This was like my summer project, and it took a million years because it's a very small knit, but it's fun to have something to work on during the summer. I really wanted to finish it before summer ended. That didn't happen. It's kind of just been sitting in a basket for a while because I tried to knit a collar and could not figure it out. And now I feel like I'm also running out of this. I'm fully out of the pink yarn. I'm very much running out of this is all I have left of the orange yarn. I don't think that this is gonna work. Obviously, it doesn't have sleeves, but I always planned for it to have sleeves. I'm out of these yarns, so I have gone with other colors. I'm doing contrasting sleeves. Still striped. I just dyed some yarn today. These colors all together look insane. I'm scared. I'm really scared. So basically for the sleeves, I'm gonna do this main yellow for like the big stripe and then this blue for the little stripe. I also have decided I'm going to use the yellow probably to finish the neckline and the hemline, most likely. It's crazy. So I dyed this yarn this morning. That's why it's on hangers, because it's been drying. It's mostly dry, but it's not quite there yet. I dyed it this morning. This was supposed to be a much softer yellow, and this was actually this blue is kind of exactly what I was looking for, but this yellow is like mustard yellow. It was supposed to be a lot more like lemon yellow. So it's very contrasty. I'm just gonna go with it. You know, I don't know if this top is exactly my style anyways. It'll probably just end up being a really fun summer top. I think I could also like wear this during the winter too though. I am also going to do an I-cord edge to finish off everything. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a crazy fun top. Again, this is mostly just to use scrap yarn, and I just wanted something to knit during the summer and hopefully wear during the summer, but obviously that didn't happen. Next summer. It's a fun project. Now that I have finally dyed the yarn and it's like drying, I am going to pick this up again, especially while I wait for yarn for my Dagmar jacket, the cable knit cardigan. I am working on finishing that. Let's now talk about some new knitting plans. I guess I already talked about the white cardigan, but I have yet another cardigan that I am going to be working on soon-ish. Okay, actually, going back to the white cardigan, this is the yarn. It is 28% polyamide, which I don't know what that is. I looked it up and I read that it can happen naturally and sometimes it is man-made. I don't know what that means. 14% merino wool and 58% baby alpaca. So it's cute. It's like super fluffy and lightweight. And I imagine the baby alpaca will make it pretty soft too. So I got it on a major discount. It was 30% off all yarns, and then I got another 20% off on top of that. So it was 50% off total per skein, I believe. I recently pinned these two images. They both have kind of like floral-y details. I think one of these is crochet and the other one is just like stitched on there. My camera's about to die. I have to really hurry it up. I'm toying with that idea of like adding some floral-y designs to it. I'm not sure yet. It depends on how much yarn I have at the end of it. But I got 10 skeins, so that should be a lot. I do not want to run out. Let me really quickly charge my battery and I will reconnect with you. Okay, hi, I'm back. I forgot to mention that the white sweater, I specifically want to do it on the knitting machine because obviously it's so much quicker. I think it would be a really fun project. I don't know if that's the first project I want to do on the knitting machine. I have one other knitting project that's on the forefront of my mind that I want to show you or talk more about. When I was just getting into my knitting era, which was probably like 2 years ago. I knew how to knit before that. I just hadn't knit in a million years. So about 2 years ago, when I was getting into my knitting era again, I discovered that you could thrift sweaters at the thrift store and then unravel them for yarn. I had also just thrifted this amazing cashmere sweater that I wear all the time. I actually was wearing it in the last video. It's like this kind of reddish orange cashmere sweater and it's amazing. I love it. It's probably my favorite sweater and it has been for like 2 years. I specifically was looking for yarn at the thrift store, or like sweaters at the thrift store that I could use for yarn. I was specifically looking for cashmere because I loved it, and wool because I'm just like into those kind of fiber makeups. I thrifted this purple cashmere sweater. It was kind of fitted. It was the weirdest sweater ever. I wish I had pictures of it. I think it had like some sort of weird cowl neck thing. I would have never worn it the way it was. I know that. It was just like a super odd sweater. Like there was no question as to why it was at the thrift store because like no one would want to wear the style that it was. It was just a weird style. So I bought it and I unraveled it and just like hand wound the yarn into these balls. It took me a million years and it honestly hurt my hands after. Now I have like one of those yarn winders that like makes the cakes or whatever. So yeah, this is what I got from it. I have one more really tiny or smaller ball of yarn. Whoops. Okay, well you saw it. I had the 4 balls of yarn. But it's obvious it's a really thin, or like, yeah, you can barely see it. It's a thin one. And you do not want to be knitting with just that. Like, it would take a million years. So I went back to the thrift store weeks later, I think, and I picked up this other sweater that was wool and purple. And cashmere and wool, it's kind of the same thing. So I thought they could go together, and this is like, honestly, this could be cashmere also. It's very soft. So yeah, cashmere, wool, and they're both purple. Kind of different shades. This is a much richer purple. This one's kind of like a blue purple, but purple. And then I actually did start to knit something up. I was gonna make this purple cardigan. I knit this up. It's like extremely hairy because I started knitting it and it was so difficult because I used like a 3 US needle, I think, which was just taking forever. It is like so nice and stretchy and like soft and just plush feeling. I'm not like a super big fan of this kind of purple anyways. I don't think that it's very flattering on me. And so I kind of just like threw it aside, and this and the yarn has been sitting in just nothingness for a while. That's why it's so gross and fuzzy. From the second sweater I got these two, which are bigger than the balls of yarn. That whole purple sweater just got put on the side because I was like, I can't do this right now. I also wasn't really that interested in it yet either. But recently I have been obsessed with this shade of purple. And it's obviously different than what the balls of yarn are. And I've just been like craving a sweater in this color purple. It's just so pretty. It's like a very plum purple. I just think it's a gorgeous shade of purple. And I don't know if that shade would look good on me. At this point, I don't really care. I just like love the shade of purple and I just really want to make something in that color. I've been like pinning lots of sweaters in that shade of purple. And then recently I came across this photo, which kind of has variation. Like it has like kind of a deeper purple and then like kind of the more pinky, and together it makes that color. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have purple yarn. I just need to get something else to go with it to make it more the shade I like. So I went on a deep dive on eBay and I found this, which is obviously bright pink. But that's like what was in that photo, is literally bright pink yarn mixed with the purple. And so, you know, in my head, this one was made from the 2 sweaters. So it's already got that combined. But here are the 2 yarns plus the pink. Together, I feel like they could make that shade of purple. And obviously, like, that's 3 things held together, and it's going to make it stronger and thicker. So, and it's the shade of purple, I think, that I like. I obviously am gonna have to do a swatch to see, but at this point, I just need to do it, you know? Even if it's not exactly what I hoped. It's got to be kind of pretty. So this is like a kid mohair, I believe. It's some kind of mohair. Got it from eBay. I love secondhand yarns. Obviously, I don't knit exclusively with that, but for the most part, yes, I do knit exclusively with secondhand yarn. I'm gonna make a cardigan. I'm working on lots of cardigans because, again, they seem the most versatile to me, and you can still wear them as a sweater. It's just like fully buttoned up. So I'm gonna make a purple cardigan, and I want this to probably be my first project on the knitting machine, which is maybe crazy, but I feel like to make my life a little bit easier, I am going to cake up the 3 yarns held together, if that makes sense. So that way we can avoid like tangles and stuff. I've never used the knitting machine. I don't know if that's a good idea. I also have never really knit something that's like held together like that, or knit anything with mohair. This could be a vastly bad idea. I really don't know, but I'm really excited about it. I'm working on 2 baklabas, or baklabas, I don't know how to say it, and 3 cardigans and 1 shirt. I have to wait for 2 parts to come in the mail for the knitting machine. Those aren't coming until next week. I also have to wait until next week for the gray yarn for my cable knit sweater. So all the cardigans are put on hold right now because of that. I'm working on 2 baklavas for Christmas gifts. I'll probably get those done this week before the other stuff comes. And then I want to finish that shirt this week too, and just like kind of get some unfinished things finished, if that makes sense. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you are, I don't know, as interested in knitting stuff as I am right now. Let me know what projects you're working on for Christmas or just for yourself for winter. Also, let me know what you would like to see from me in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy knitting. See you later.